Hello, you action figure enthusiasts out there. JC here, and welcome to a Friday edition of TNInews Live. And we've got a lot to cover today, so let's do a quick roll call, and then we'll jump into the news. And Salome is also joining us today, standing in front of my screen, of course, so I can't see anything. Yes, Salome. So we've got Austin in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Happy Friday to you. We've got a new action figure enthusiast channel member, Vlad. Second today, new addition. So we're up to 57 action figure enthusiast members. So Vlad will be part of next Tuesday's giveaway, which I think will be fun for members only. Again, that'll be this coming Tuesday as we celebrate my birthday month. We did one this past Tuesday, gave away $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store. Jason's Electric was our winner, and we are going to do another giveaway this coming Tuesday for you action figure enthusiast members, where you can win not just $100, but up to the possibility of winning up to $200. And I'll have more details on that as we get closer to Tuesday. But welcome, Vlad, and thank you very much for becoming an action figure enthusiast member, along with all you other guys that have done the same thing. Quinn's Comics, good to see you, my friend. Hope you are having a quintastic day there at your comic book store. Hopefully sales are going well and everything is going well with you. So good to see you here. John from Ireland, is always good to see you, my friend. The Mass Figure Collector, good to see you. Family's doing pretty well. Paul is here, good to see you. Sinister October Solo, good to see you. Greetings. Alonzo's in the house, good to see you. We have our other John here as well. Asiano, happy Friday to you. Mr. Allmine, Vlad, again, good to see you, my friend. Welcome. Gary is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Mr. Allmine, good to see you. Salome is here. Yes, great tech helper, great accessory helper. Mr. Bishop, your crystal ball was delivered. Nice. Glad you were able to score one. It's definitely I thought, Hasbro actually did a really good job with that one. They didn't make it easy for us to get it, but did a good job. Phil is here. Good to see you. Hanzo's in the house. Good to see you. Comics 1017. Good to see you. Felix, what is up? John Ash is in the house as well, so good to see. It looks like we got a full house. All right, so as I said, we've got quite a bit of news today. I wanted to share with you some Marvel Legend rumors on what we can expect to see next week during the live stream, and also going up for pre-order next week. So we're going to be talking about that. Plus, just a recap. Marvel Legend exclusives going to be available at New York Comic, or not just Marvel Legends, but Hasbro exclusives going to be available at New York Comic Con and MCM London next month. So we're going to go over that as well. So let us pull up our news. Pull up the news screen here. Get the right screen here. All right. So let's go on and start off with Marvel. So these blockies seem to be becoming more and more popular. Transformers, but now we're seeing both Marvel and Star Wars. These are on display at a toy expo in Thailand. These images were posted up by the Blockies company. So these are, of course, are Marvel, based on the Rivals game. I think these are like 4-inch, something like that, 4 or 5-inch. I won't swear to it, but I think that's what scale these are. I don't think these are 6-inch, but yes. Now my screen is having some issues. All right, so and then Wolverine from the Wolverine movie with a full-on beard. Some other Rivals stuff. Rocket Raccoon. I gotta adjust my screen a little bit here. That's my problem. My screen was. All right, there we go. So Rocket Raccoon, Deadpool from the Deadpool movie. These are champion class, so I gotta say those don't look that fantastic to me, but maybe that's just me. Deadpool looks okay, but that Wolverine looks a little off. The rival figures though look pretty good if you're into Rivals. So these are like snap model kit type things. If you're not familiar with Blockies, um, again, they've been doing a lot of Transformer stuff, and they've got Star Wars too. So when we jump over to talking about Star Wars, I'll show you those as well. Yesterday, officially announced New York Comic Con, MCM London, Marvel Legend exclusive. So, Super Scroll in the same kind of packaging that we saw with the Death's Head figure. Was that last year or 2 years ago? I lose track. But the Death's Head figure, which is, this is basically based on one of the old Marvel trading card lines. So, Super Scroll has Human Torch legs, and then he has switchable hands. So you've got a stretchy hand for Reed and a half thing hand for uh, the Thing, of course. Multiple head sculpts, extra pair of hands, a flame effect. Nothing to mimic Invisible Woman's powers with this one, but pretty cool. I may end up getting this one. I actually like the translucent, Human Torch lower body. Now they've done Super Scroll in the past, but I don't actually have that one. This one is going to cost you. Let me. I guess they didn't give the price on the Marvel Legend one. So when they sent out the official press release, I guess they didn't have the price. So I don't know what the price on that one's going to be, but just to recap, the other Hasbro ones that are going to be exclusive to New York Comic Con and MCM London, the Transform, and these others were all announced during San Diego Comic Con. But the Generations Armada Nemesis Prime with Air Defense Mini Canteen, that one's going to be $75. The Black Series Mace Windu and Darth Sidious 2-pack, that's going to be $60. And for Vintage Collection, the Jedi Spirit 3-pack. So, and the Pythona figure for G.I. Joe Classified, which that one is $40. And to me, I definitely going to get Pythona. And we've talked about this before, but so this will be available at New York Comic Con for those attending New York Comic Con and the MCM London convention. Both are in October. New York Comic Con will be first. That's going to take place on October 9th through 12th. I will be attending New York Comic Con this year myself. And then MCM London, which I will not be attending. I will not be flying over to London. But people like Dan Who's Reviews usually hit that show up and stuff. So, and that's going to be October 24th to 26th. And then for those who aren't going to either of those conventions, they will have a limited number available on Hasbro Pulse sometime after those shows. And as I said before, my best guess would be probably like November 1st is when they'll make them available online. So Super Scroll, again, that was the newest one they just announced yesterday. Here's a look at the Black Series. Some of these images got mixed up, but there's Pythona. And then there's Mace Windu along with the Darth Sidious. So that's the Black Series 2-pack. Yeah, this is a pretty nice looking set. I could be tempted to get this one. You get the regular head sculpt and the burnt, whatever you want to call it, dark forced head sculpt. Here's the Vintage Collection 2-pack, the Spirit 3-pack, I mean. So this is Vintage Collection. There's Pythona again. And with this one, you can have either the Anakin head or the original actor that they had playing Anakin, with the original release of Return of the Jedi. I forget his name, but Hayden. But you can have the Hayden Christensen or the older actor on that figure. We have this is the Transformer exclusive, so Nemesis Prime with the Minicon team to create Starsaber. So those are your what they are calling fall convention exclusives. Now remember, there is no PulseCon this year. There are no Pulse exclusives. There's no. I don't think there's going to be a 1027 event this year. So this is essentially our fall exclusives available at those two conventions. I suppose they could make them available at other conventions, but right now the only two that they've said they're going to be selling these exclusives at are New York Comic Con and MCM London. So unless they say otherwise at some point, I'm going to assume those are the only two conventions. They will be at some other conventions this fall, but they probably aren't going to have a large enough presence to be selling exclusives, is my guess. But like I say, if they announce any other conventions for these exclusives, we'll be sure to update you. Now, besides the exclusives, Hasbro also put out a panel schedule for New York Comic Con. So there's going to be 2 different panels for Comic Con this year. So, and this is definitely something that we normally don't see with Hasbro for New York Comic Con. Normally in the past, I can think of maybe one year where Hasbro had a full-on booth and stuff, and occasionally they would do like a Transformer panel or something, but usually they do not have that major of a presence at New York Comic Con. They'll usually have a special event for media, like right before or like the first day of Comic Con that's held off site. And I don't know if they're going to do that this year or not, but this year they actually are going to have a booth and they're going to have some panels. So the first panel will be on Thursday. It's the Disney related products, so Marvel and Star Wars. That's going to be at 11 a.m. room 408 if you happen to be attending. But for those not, we'll have coverage up on Jedi Insider Marvelous News. So though that's the Marvel Star Wars panel, and then Friday will be their other brands, their own brands. Transformers, G.I. Joe, Ghostbusters gets mentioned in the description. So I don't know if they'll really have new Ghostbuster product on hand, but I guess we'll find out. Maybe a new HasLab, I don't know. But that's Friday again, 11 a.m. Room 406-3 is where that one will be taking place. And again, for those not attending, we will have coverage up at on TNI and T-Formers for the Transformer stuff. So that's your latest Comic-Con stuff. Now we have the fan stream this coming Tuesday. We have Marvel Legend pre-orders next week that look like are going to be taking place on Wednesday. And from what I can tell, it's going to be the next mini comic wave. So Walmart kind of let the cat out of the bag on this yesterday. They actually had these up for pre-order. They just had generic names. So nobody really knew what they were pre-ordering. They've since pulled those listings, so and they're not Walmart exclusives. So honestly, I wouldn't probably order them from Walmart anyway. Definitely not blind, since you didn't really, unless you were buying them all, you didn't really know which link was for which figure. But best I can tell, it's another 6-figure wave. Again, this is a mini comic wave, so they have those little teeny mini comics that don't really do anything, but But that's where we should be seeing that Excalibur Rachel Summers that they showed off during. They showed the renders for at Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con. Also, the X Force Pharaoh figure. That's again they announced at San Diego Comic Con was coming. So both those figures should be in this mini comic wave. Daredevil, which I believe is going to be Shadowland Daredevil. So definitely some version of Daredevil. I've seen it referenced as Ninja Daredevil. But I believe Shadowland is what we are going to be getting. So in the black costume, which kind of makes sense because I believe we're going to see that costume in the next season of the Daredevil Reborn series. So it kind of makes sense that we're getting a comic book version now. Black Widow should be Yelena. I'm thinking the white outfit. That's kind of a guess on my part, but we recently got a Yelena Black Widow in the black outfit. So I believe the last one they did was in the black outfit. So white outfit makes more sense to me, but looks like another Yelena Beast figure, which I believe is going to be an Astonishing X-Men version. So that one, we got the recent, was it Wolverine? So now it looks like we're getting Beast, which of course they did back in the day when they first took over the line from Toy Biz. But I'm sure this will be a much needed update if you like that version of Beast. And then Silver Surfer. I honestly, it seemed like this is going to be like the fourth Silver Surfer I feel like we've gotten in recent years. I have no idea if it's going to be just another regular Silver Surfer with a board. I don't know. It could be a comic book based female Silver Surfer to go along with the movie one we just got. But since we just got the movie one, I don't know why they would do that. I was, possibly even maybe like a World War Hulk version with like the gladiator gear. I'm just thinking of ways you might differentiate the Silver Surfer so it's not just like yet another regular old Silver Surfer. But I don't, definitely Silver Surfer, but I don't know exactly if it will differentiate at all from the recent previous Silver Surfers that we've gotten. Like the first one we got modern was like the Walgreens one, and then we got another one, and then we had the one with the Galactus. So we've had a lot of Silver Surfers in recent years. So I double checked that one. I was like, really, we're getting another Silver Surfer? But that looks like is going to be the sixth figure in the wave. So again, these I expect to be officially revealed. They may, they probably will have other things. So I'm not saying these are the only things they're going to reveal, but this will probably be, one of the main reveals for next Tuesday. And from what I can tell, these should be going up for pre-order next Wednesday, the 10th at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So I believe that's when this wave will go up for pre-order. Whether we talked on Wednesday, maybe seeing the Build-A-Figure wave with the Warbow and the World War II Logan figure that they also teased at San Diego. And if they don't show that full wave, they might show a couple of other figures in that wave. As I think that's going to be like technically the first wave of 2026. So they may spread that one out. I don't know. Maybe another Walmart Collector Con exclusive, since there's usually at least more than one. We know the Mysterio's coming, but they might have some others. So, like I said, I'm not saying this is the only thing they're going to be showing off, but this I would say with about 99% certainty, 98% certainty that this mini comic wave 2 is one of the main things they'll be focusing on during the live stream next Tuesday, with the pre-order to follow the next day on Wednesday. See anything else? Big Bad Toy Store made this Titan series Fantastic Four Galactus available. I think we talked about that on Wednesday. We talked about the price increase. Oh, and the comic book wave 2 price should be just like with the Emperor Doom, should be the $27.99, which again is, as I told you guys on Wednesday, is looking to be the new standard 6-inch MSRP from Hasbro for G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Marvel Legends. Let's jump over to Transformers. So pre-orders have opened up at Big Bad Toy Store for that Missing Link Ultra Magnus. Uh, Also, the Dramatic Capture series, the reissues of the Skywarp and the Insecticons, with some paint modifications to it. So those are both available at Big Bad Toy Store now for pre-order. $224.99 for Ultra Magnus. Um, the Dramatic Series one is $135 there. Right now, that's the only U.S. retailer, I believe, that's put up those. So I don't know if Big Bad Toy Store maybe jumped the gun a little bit, or if others are just late. But I know Japan. Like today was the official pre-order date for these in Japan, but I don't know. Last time I checked, Entertainment Earth did not have these up, but let me see if. Yeah, they still don't. So I don't know if they'll have those up later today or if they'll go up on a different day. But right now they are available at Big Bad Toy Store for anyone who's interested in those. We talked about the New York Comic Con exclusive Transformer, so I don't really need to go over that again. Yeah, so that's all I really have for you on the Transformer front. For Star Wars, we talked about the Sergeant Hound Hot Toys figure. It's now available at Big Bad Toy Store. We talked about this one on Wednesday. The link, I guess, is messed up there, but or at least it was up. Here it is. 320 is the price on this one. So again, it is available at Big Bad Toy Store and for pre-order, and should be released in December of next year. Here are the Star Wars blocky figures that are coming. So just like with the Marvel ones, they were on display overseas. Snap model kits. You know, a lot of the stuff from the newer shows, plus Stormtroopers and Darth Vader. So Blockies is definitely expanding their brand, into other brands. I'm not really big into Snap model kits, so I've never owned any of the Transformer ones, so I don't know honestly how good they are. Let's talk a little bit of Lego. So I think we've talked about this set before, but we have the official images and details for the new Ultimate Collector Edition Death Star playset. This set, I believe, is the very first Lego set that is going to cost you $1,000. That is the price on this one. So see, it's not just Marvel or it's not just Hasbro stuff that's getting expensive. So it's big, but it's also very thin. So it's like just the midsection of the Death Star. It's not a full ball or anything like that. You get a ton of figures, like 28 figures, or is it 38 or 28? So the dimensions are 28 inches in height, 32 inches width, 11 inches depth. So 38 mini figures, 9,023 pieces. Hot Tub Stormtrooper is included in this set. So this is going up on October 4th. Be available in the Lego store, probably maybe Amazon as well. Comes with an Imperial shuttle. You do have the hangar bay. You got a place for Obi-Wan and Darth Vader to fight it out. You got the computer room where they hid out at, the trash compactor, of course. The prison, the brig area where they kept Leia. You could probably hang this on a wall too if you wanted to. I don't think technically it's made to hang, but and then also there's a spot in the hangar for this TIE Fighter set that is being sold separately. So this TIE Fighter with Imperial hangar rack set is also coming, and that TIE Fighter will fit into the Death Star. So you get some more extra minifigures on that one. And that one is, if we have the price, that one, well, there's a cross through it, so I don't know if that's $35, if it's going to be $35, but so that's your Lego news. $1,000 for one Lego set, though. Shoo, man. Now, speaking of high prices, okay, this was just funny. So this morning we had Target Geek-Out week 2, and it was Super 7. The drops were for Super 7. Deluxe version of Lion-O and Snarf, toy versions. So if you wanted a cheaper Snarf, if you don't want to pay the ultimate price for Snarf, technically it's based on the toy, not the cartoon, but you don't get things like the standing tail and stuff. But again, much cheaper if you want to pay less. Well, supposed to be much cheaper. And then some Godzilla ultimate figures as well went up today. But what was funny is, and they fixed it now finally, but for most of the morning, this was the price for the Thundercat figures. $399,135.99. That is what they literally had the 2 Thundercat figures each priced at. And like I even tried adding it to my cart, and like the total after taxes and everything was like over $400,000. So I didn't try and check out. I wasn't going to risk them trying to charge me like $400,000 for an action figure. But I had to laugh that somebody really screwed up. I guess added too many numbers or something on this one. But my first thought was, man, those tariff charges are really getting out of hand. So the actual price, and now corrected, is $34.99 for the 2 Thundercat figures. So. And the Godzilla ones, Godzilla and Destroyer, are also $35. So that was this week's Target Geek Out drops. Again, Super 7 was the lucky company. Also pre-order today, this Big Bad Toy Store, Jada Toys. This is a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive, but from Jada Toys, Frosty the Snowman. We saw this on display at San Diego Comic-Con. So you have the ability to take off his magic hat and his other stuff and just have him as a snowman. Comes with the rabbit. He can do his pipe, smoke his pipe. So pretty cool looking figure, though. Again, not cheap. This one's going to cost you $50 if you want to, add it to your collection. Supposed to be released in October this year, so you should have it by the holidays, which is good. But again, not terribly cheap at $50. And the figure is 1/12 scale, so it stands around 6 inches tall. It has some articulation. I wouldn't go as far as saying super articulated, but your Frosty does have some articulation. So 15 points is what the description says. So cool looking figure. I guess it depends on how big of a Frosty fan you are, but again, that one's going to cost you about $50. And as I said, and part of the reason why it's probably more expensive is because it is exclusive. It is exclusive just to Big Bad Toy Store. McFarlane saw a couple new pre-orders today, some NFL figures, Josh Allen, AJ Brown. These are mostly pre-posed figures, very minimal articulation. Josh Jacobs, Jalen Hurts, Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels from the Commanders, rookie quarterback, great quarterback from last year for us Commanders fans, and, Saquon, Barkley. Uh, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles pulled out a victory last night against the Dallas Cowboys, kicking off this year's NFL season. And I'm waiting to see the Commanders play the New York Giants this coming Sunday. But if you want some action figures for the NFL, again, those are available at places like Entertainment Earth. There's also a new statue of Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, 1/6 scale for you Kansas City Chief fans. Got their asses kicked last year by the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. But this one also available again at places like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. Walking Dead figures, we've talked about these before, but that series 3, the Rick Grimes, these are 5-inch figures. The Rick Grimes, the Morgan Jones, and the Gas Mask Zombie. Those are all up for pre-order now. Again, at places like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. As I said, these are 5-inch figures. So if you're into Walking Dead, you might want to check those out. We've got a new Amazing Yamaguchi Revel Tech One Punch reveal from Geek-Out. Garo, I guess is how you say his name. So this is not yet available for pre-order, but should be going up soon. That extra face is exclusive to the Geek-Out web store. So if you're into One Punch and you've been collecting the Revel Tech stuff, this is one that you might want to check out. Multiple hands, multiple face plates, some effect pieces that are attached to a pair of the hands to mimic his abilities, which I don't actually know what his abilities are since I'm not familiar with the character, but there you go. Not toy related, but movie related. I will be curious to see if Jada or somebody picks up doing figures for this movie, but a new live action Street Fighter movie coming to theaters in October of 2026. So you can see the cast right there, some notable names. Cody Rhodes for you WWE fans. Will be playing Guile in this movie. Jason Momoa, Aquaman, of course, will be playing Blanca, which is kind of interesting. Let's see who else. What other names kind of stand out here to me? 50 Cent Jackson, Curtis Jackson, which last movie I think I remember him being in was that A-Team remake. I believe he was the one who was playing B.A. Baracus, if I remember correctly. Roman Reigns, another wrestler here, is playing Akuma. So we got Cody and Roman in this movie. So we're going a little heavy on wrestlers here. And right off the bat, those are the only names I recognize. But again, live action Street Fighter movie coming next year in October. Hopefully it'll be better than the last one. And with Jean-Claude Van Damme, that movie was just bad. But hopefully this one will be better. And like I say, it'll be interesting to see if anybody does any action figures. Jada Toys being, I mean, I guess Storm Collectibles I could see maybe doing some as well, but it'll be interesting to see if anybody picks up doing movie figures for that. We talked about this one, this Titan figure. It's available for pre-order now. You can get it at places like Big Bad Toy Store. Again, another Geek-Out figure, Amazing Yamaguchi. For you Jurassic Park fans, we had new At the Gate Hammond Collection figures that went up for pre-order. 3 new dinosaurs. I don't think they've sold out. Maybe they have. Yeah, looks like maybe they have sold out. So I'm always amazed at how fast these Jurassic Park figures sell out. But those, they do the At the Gate thing at Target every month. So that was that was these were this month's Jurassic Park drops. In other movie news, we have official date and name for the next Superman movie, the sequel to the one that just came out. Called it looks like it's going to be titled Man of Tomorrow, and that's coming out in July of 2027. And we have this teaser from James Gunn featuring this is artwork from Jim Lee, but featuring Lex in his comic book armor, Superman holding a screwdriver. So I don't know if that really has any relevance to the movie itself or he just threw that up there. But again, Man of Tomorrow, July 9th, 2027 for the next Superman movie. I think we talked about this one on Wednesday, the Dark Knight 112 collective figure. So that's just in case I didn't, that's available for pre-order at places like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, $126. And I think that pretty much brings us up to date. Hot Toys new John Wick figure. They released some new images for this one. So it's not yet available for pre-order. But again, if you're into Keanu Reeves, John Wick, this is based on the first movie. Which honestly, to me, the first movie is really, the others, I don't know. I mean, they were okay, but I think the first movie was by far the best John Wick movie. The others, I definitely, I watched once, but I never have gone back and watched them again. Whereas the first one, I definitely have watched multiple times. Oh, Hiya Toys, new King of Monsters, Behemoth, it's one of those words that stick in your mouth. Behemoth, a big dude, big elephant dude. So this has not gone up for pre-order yet, but should be going up soon. Do you hate those words that like you can hear it in your head, but every time you try and pronounce it, it like comes out wrong? Maybe I'm the only one that has that issue. 6.2 inches tall is this one. A behemoth. Behemoth. New Tron trailer. I'm not going to play this, but I don't know. This new trailer, like I want to get into this movie. I love the last Tron movie, but like I feel like there's really no connection between this new movie and the previous one. I know we heard briefly Jeff Bridges in one of the trailers, so at least he's going to have some minor, I'm going to guess some minor cameo, but like, is Tron himself going to be in this movie? Is, like, they're definitely tying into the whole AI jazz, AI is coming to take over the world type thing. It seems to be kind of the gist of this one. Jared Leto playing the lead role in this one. Looks like starts out as a bad guy and maybe becomes a good guy. I don't know. So I want to get into this movie. I want to like this movie, but so far the trailers, because there's nothing I'm really seeing connected to the previous Tron movie. Just seeing this. Oh, okay. So, I don't know what's going on here. Toy Newman posted this was available, but it's not. I don't know why it would be available. This was made to pre-order Dragon Man, so maybe it was a glitch, or it was had a few extras and they put them up, but it looks like it's sold out. So disregard that. But yes, that brings us up to date, I believe, on everything. I will note there is should be a pre-order, another Hasbro pre-order on Thursday, next Thursday. I don't know yet what that one is going to be, so I got to do some digging and see if I can find out what that one is going to be. But again, it looks like besides the mini comic wave on Wednesday, it looks like, and I don't know if it's Marvel related or something else, but it's up on the Entertainment Earth Drop Zone page. And like the clue is something like two heads are better than one, so I don't know what that is, but I'll try and find out for you. Maybe have that information for you guys on Monday. So let's see where. Vlad, you should make it so we can pay for the year. Unfortunately, that's not, you're talking about for the Action Figure Enthusiast membership. That's not really something I have any control over. That's YouTube. So if that was something I could make available, I would. But then again, I feel like then what if I, you know, stop doing content that so you felt like you weren't getting your money, a year's worth of money. So on the one hand, I understand what you say, it makes it easier, but on the other hand, um, I'm not sure I'd want to have people committed to paying for a full year advance for being an Action Figure Enthusiast member. But either way, though, I don't have control over that. That's something essentially you signing up and stuff like that is controlled by YouTube. Phil, what is up? We already went over these comments. Keen, I watch Yo here all the time about the latest collection, collectibles and movies. I watch you. Okay, I got you. Much appreciated for you tuning in, my friend. Elio, what's up? Eric says the Hasbro Black Series 2-pack with Mason and Palpatine. Yeah, and they haven't really done a great, we've gotten pretty cool Emperor figure, but haven't gotten a great like episode 2 and 3 Palpatine per se. So did anyone spend? Could you imagine like your credit card bill comes in if somebody like just blindly wasn't paying attention and like bought it like, ooh, I got to get snarf before he sells out, and not even like really paying attention to the price, and then later sees was charged $400,000. Oh my god. I mean, I would assume Target would cancel any if anyone actually ordered those figures at 400,000, Target would just cancel those. But that would just be crazy. Honey, yeah, just disregard that $400,000 charge that came through on the credit card. Hansa, weird that the GI Joe teased the Cobra Law Guard way back when Nemesis Immortal Enforcer was announced, with screenshots of the character in the background, but nothing. Yeah, I mean, good chance. I mean, I would assume Globulus will come at some point to join Nemesis Enforcer and and Pythona, but and a Royal Guard maybe as well. But it may be a little while. Not this year. I mean, and I'm honestly glad that we're getting. So I'm being told that Dragon Man, like I guess I have to sign out and sign back in to see the Dragon Man in stock. So I'm not going to try and do that here, but if you want Dragon Man, that Marvel Legend Dragon Man, you can go over there and see if it's available to you, and if it's not, try and sign in and out. So, just a heads up. Also, I think the Hasbro pre-order on next Thursday might be a Daredevil mask. So, I I'm going to say that's very tentatively, but like I guess a Daredevil role play mask. Emma Frost and Cyclops' astonishing X-Men costumes were in the Chode Wave. Wolverine was an 85-year figure release. He kind of used the old Kitty Pryde from Juggernaut Wave to fill in until a new one. $225 is a bit much. Might need to slow down on missing link line. Unfortunately, for the Ultramagnet, yeah. I don't think. Like, I'd rather have like the studio. If I was gonna, well, I did get the Ultramagnet Studio series, but I don't know. Old G1 Transformers, while there's a place in my heart for them, it's not something I really want to go back and collect. And I know they're a little updated and stuff, but yeah, the missing link line to me is not all that appealing, even though I'm a big G1 Transformer fan. Too many more, better looking modern versions of those characters have come out. Felix says, wow, grand for Legos is crazy. Eric says the Lego Death Waffle Iron. Felix, impressive for sure, but grand is great. Well, and I think, we talked about this before. Like, I would love to see Hasbro do a vintage collection Death Star playset. But if the Lego set is $1,000, if Hasbro ever did a HasLab Death Star playset, we'd probably at least be talking about $1,000. Now, if it was good, I might be tempted to spend that much money. But I know a lot of people would bitch and complain and say that's way too expensive and stuff, which is probably why they don't do one. But Road Pig John, what is up? Mr. All Minds, yeah. I laughed my ass off when I saw that this morning. In fact, I didn't even notice the price at first when they first went up, and then somebody was like, "Lino costs $300,000." I'm like, "What?" And then I went back and looked at it, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Eric says, "I pre-ordered the Thundercats. I bet I'll see them in store before they get fulfilled." That's what happened with the prior DX figure, and I don't think those are. I don't think those are Target exclusives. So those will probably be available at other retailers at some point. Rich is chiming in saying Dragon Man is in stock on Pulse. Chris says it is in stock, but can't add it to the cart on the Dragon Man. Rich goes on to say, sign out and sign back in. So I'd be curious because if I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, it's cool that they make it if they make it available to people who missed out on the original pre-order window, but that kind of defeats the whole made to pre-order thing because if they're going to just offer the stuff again later, then why do I really need to worry about the window? Why have the window to begin with? Now, it's possible again that they just had a few, people had returns or whatever. Rampage Jack played BA in the 80s. Yeah, okay. I love that movie, that A-Team movie. I was very disappointed that movie did not get a sequel because I thought it was good. And at first I was like, yeah, I don't know. Liam Neeson as Hannibal. I don't know. But I ended up really. I mean, I won't say it was as good as the original series, but I liked that movie. And like I said, I was kind of disappointed it didn't get a sequel. Felix says, "Horrible actors." The Street Fighter movie about to be. I don't know. I mean, I think about the original Mortal Kombat movie, and that didn't have like a ton of great actors in it. And I thought that movie was actually pretty good. Whereas like the Street Fighter movie, the original live action Street Fighter movie, had John Claude Van Damme, Raul Julia as Bison and stuff, and that movie was just bad. So sometimes you can have maybe not a super stellar cast, but still come up with a we're not talking about Oscar winning movie or anything, but something that's still kind of enjoyable. Martinez says they need actors, not wrestlers or influencers. Yeah, but a lot of wrestlers want to become actors. John Cena, The Rock, Scrawny Rock. Felix got the inner Batman Dark Knight Returns. I don't see myself ever needing another version though. I just need to find a wire cape and it'll be perfect. Jordan says Tron Legacy was so I mean I like the original Tron movie, but Tron Legacy I thought was way better than the original movie. And obviously special effects had improved a lot between the two movies, but not just special. I love the music. I love the soundtrack to Tron Legacy from Daft Punk. That soundtrack I still listen to today, and I just thought it was a really good movie for the most part. But they really didn't seem to go forward with it. And like I say, this new one, I haven't really I haven't delved deep. I haven't looked at spoilers. I haven't. So but just from the trailers I've seen, I'm not seeing much of a connection between the two movies. Mr. Allman, add to cart as a guest, be signed in. So it's funny, yeah. Like if you go in and if you click the button 5 times and then sign out and sign back in, and then you can add it to your cart and check out if you use PayPal, right? Because that's how it seems like anything on Hasbro Pulse these days. Uh, if you want to buy anything on Hasbro Pulse, you gotta jump through all these hoops. Martinez, like I say, try signing out of your account and signing back in if you're still having problems. Let's see. Mad Plant 23, longtime viewer, joined late. Not sure if you addressed this, but is G.I. Joe Classified Short Fuse and Steeler dropping next week for Target Geek-Out? I don't know. I don't know what next week's drop is. I don't know if it's going to be Hasbro. Uh, I don't even. I don't think they ever said Short Fuse and Steeler was a Target exclusive, but I'm going off of memory on that, so that I can't tell you honestly in any shape or form. If Dan Young will probably tell us if Marvel Legends are going up for pre-order for Target Geek Out next week, or they might address that like if next week is Hasbro. So if next week is Hasbro, then we'll see more than just GI Joe. We'll probably get a mix of Marvel, GI Joe, maybe Transformers and Star Wars, or at least two of the brands, if not more, will go up for Hasbro's day. But I don't know if it's next week. I'm sure Hasbro will have a day, and definitely, as we've talked about before, the Mystique and the Storm figures should go up when it is their drop. But I have not heard anything about next week's drop, so I don't know what company it will be, and if it is Hasbro, I haven't heard anything about Short Fuse and Steeler. Rich got himself Dragon Man. I mean, it's a good figure. If you like Dragon Man, I definitely recommend it. And very comic book accurate. I mean, the Toy Biz one is a very well made sculpted figure, but it's not very comic book accurate. So the Hasbro one's definitely much more comic book accurate. Eric says wrestlers are actors. Kinda. They're entertainers, definitely. Some are better than others. Some wrestlers are better on the mic than others. But I mean, John Cena is has turned out to be a decent actor. Even The Rock, I mean, he plays the same kind of characters most of the time, but he's not a bad actor. When you go back to like say Hulk Hogan, I mean, Hulk Hogan just played himself in all the movies he appeared in. Trying to think of some other wrestlers that turned to acting. Roddy Piper tried to do some acting. He had They Live. That wasn't too bad of a movie. Captain Lou Albano. If you go back and watch old TV shows, he pops up as a guest star in older TV shows. Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's done acting both in TV and a couple of bad movies. Batista, obviously. Dragon Man's tail is disappointing. It's long, and it would have been nice if it could have like folded up a little bit more. I'm glad the tail's removable because I like the figure better without the tail on. But yeah, that is probably. I mean, it's not horrible, but I agree that is probably the weakest thing about the Davey Sockrocker. Lou Albano is better Super Mario than Chris Pratt. I watched uh, that animated movie with him on an airplane a couple years ago. It was okay, but Mad Blant 23. Yeah, about the what was it, UFC fighter, the Smashing Machine. Yeah, he's up for an award, I think, for that one. And I got to tell you, I mean, I haven't watched that movie, so I can't speak to his acting, but that like he altered his look in that movie so much so that you had to like tell me that was The Rock. Like when I saw the trailers for that movie, I was like, that's The Rock? No way. So definitely makeup and all that jazz. They really did a good job with that. I know nothing about the character that he's playing in. I don't watch UFC really, so I know nothing about the character. At first, I thought it was like a wrestling movie, but then I was like, oh, UFC. Yeah, I don't care. John, is that Frosty figure in the new Naked Gun film? I don't know. I have not seen that movie, so I couldn't tell you. I doubt it since I don't think the figure has actually gone into production yet. Though I guess if it's going to be released before Christmas, maybe they got one out there for the movie. I don't know. But I haven't seen the movie, so I couldn't tell you. I'm assuming there's some kind of Frosty the Snowman figure in it, but I couldn't tell you if it's the Jada Toy one. I Like I've seen the original Naked Gun movies, but I'm not a huge fan of like that completely idiotic comedy. So I can't say the new one has has me. I might watch it when it comes out on a streaming platform, but I'm not going to pay money to watch that movie. Yeah, Austin. Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of actors, they basically take their character that they play for wrestling and they project it onto the big screen or small screen or whatever. But I mean, you got to imagine that most of those wrestlers are acting because they don't really act that way in real life. When the way they act on wrestling. The Rock movie, or was that a Rock movie or a Hogan movie? I forget. That was a Rock movie, I think. I didn't hate Black Adam. I was bummed that we weren't going to get a Black Adam versus Superman fight, but I didn't hate that movie. I think my favorite Rock movie is I forget the name of it now, but he's like a chef slash bounty hunter. It was like his first after the Mummy movies. It was like his first main acting role that he got, and he actually like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, Walking Tall, or no, Rundown. Yeah, Walk Tall. Eh, that one was a little. That's the one where he's like he becomes the sheriff in the small town he grew up in. But Rundown, I think I really liked Rundown. I thought that was a good movie. I always wanted like The Rock to play. Like I wanted to see a Predator movie like the original Predator, but somebody like The Rock, taking over the Arnold Schwarzenegger role. I think that would have been really good. Gridiron Gang. Yeah, The Rock's actually been in a lot of movies. Usually they're cameo or like, they're supporting roles. But, if you actually go back and watch, Rock has popped up in a lot of movies over the years. He played the gay character in I forget, the John Travolta movie. I forget the name of that one, but and it was a sequel. The Get Shorty sequel. Jumanji was, yeah, he did okay on that one. Probably one of his worst movies was Doom. I don't know if you remember, based on the video game. That was a horrible. All right, well, we're over the hour, so I think we're going to call it a day. So remember, if you haven't become an action figure enthusiast member, that you still have time to get in on next Tuesday's contest giveaway. We're going to be giving away at least $100 store credit, if possibly up to 200. Um, you just have to become an action figure enthusiast member before Tuesday. We're up to 57 now, so um, and that'll be week 2. We're doing 4 weeks of giveaways this month to celebrate my birthday. So the first one was this past Tuesday. The next one is this coming Tuesday, and then we've got 2 more Tuesdays after that where we're going to give away at least $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store. So you essentially, if you're just now thinking about becoming an action figure enthusiast member, you're going to have 3 more chances just this month. Last month we gave away 2 $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. So, but this month in total we're doing 4. So, and you still got time to get in on a chance to win 3 more times this month. This past week, again, Jason's Electric was our winner. So I don't think he's here today, but he was our big winner this past Tuesday. And hopefully we'll have some fun this coming Tuesday because, again, same day as the Marvel Legends fan stream. So we'll be talking Marvel Legends. So obviously, when I come back with that next Wednesday for the regular live stream, we'll also talk Marvel Legends. But we'll have our first chance to talk Marvel Legends for the Action Figure Enthusiast members only video, and then we'll give away. We'll do some birthday celebrating, and again, my birthday is on the 23rd, where I hit the big 5-3. So we're going to celebrate every Tuesday between now and the 23rd. All right, guys. So I'm going to leave it there, but stay safe. Have a great weekend, and until next time, guys, I will catch you. Thanks for watching today's video. If you're new to the channel, think about subscribing and hitting that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. You can also think about becoming an Action Figure Enthusiast channel member. There's a link in the video description below with more details on that. Check out all the names of everyone who's already joined, scrolling down at the bottom of your screen. And for the latest in action figure news, be sure to head over to ToyNewsEye.com, MarvelousNews.com, JediInsider.com, and TFormers.com. And remember, action figures are great!